You don't have to pull my arm to listen to David Sylvian. You don't have to do that whatsoever. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day, feeling good, finding yourself in a good place. Sometimes you find yourself not in a great place. Hopefully this video brings you up just a little bit. Even if it's an inch, listen, an inch by inch, we reach the clouds. Let's go ahead and listen to David Sylvian. If you're new here, you may not know that David Sylvian is my favorite artist of all time. Okay. You may also be asking yourself, well, JP, if he's your favorite artist of all time, why are you listening to a song as a reaction? Well, because I actually don't know this song. You may ask yourself, I sound like David Byrne. You may ask yourself, well, JP, if he's your favorite artist of all time, why haven't you heard every single song that he's made? Because he's made a lot of music. He's made a lot of little random singles and B-sides and C-sides and these sides and these sides. And I actually have not explored every single ounce of material that he's made. I know. Strange. So we're listening to this particular track, this song, entitled For the Love of Life. This is actually coming off of... so he recorded this for the anime Monster, which I've heard of. I've seen it constantly pop up on top list and great animes and stuff. And a long time ago, and I mean a long time ago, probably high school era or so, when I was watching Death Note and Code Geass, I did try watching an episode of this anime, and I didn't get too far in. I'm just being honest. I was a little bored. This has no reflection upon the anime itself. It's upon me at that time, because I wasn't as patient as I should be with things all the time. So I didn't make it very far in there. So I never heard, I guess, the song here. So we're going to dive into this for the first time. Now, while we're listening to this, because this was actually sponsored by Michael. So Michael, thank you so much for the request and for the support. I appreciate that. And listen, I'm very happy to listen to some David Sylvian. So For the Love of Life, so we're going to give a listen to. As a matter of fact, before we even dive into it, I actually recently gave a full, actually focused listen to the album Rain Tree Crow. I had listened to it many, many years ago, but it was a passive listen. But I actually focused and listened to it. Can I tell you? Besides 2 tracks on there, I didn't care for it as much as I had hoped I would care for it. Surprisingly. Anyways, let's listen to this song. Discuss it a little bit after. Here we go.
And slowly you come to realize it's all as it should be. You can only do so much if you're game enough. You could place your trust in me. For the love of life, there's a trade-off. We could lose it all, but we'll go down fighting.
This is very Blemish era.
What of the children? Surely they can't be blamed for our mistakes. I've come to realize it's all as it should be. That hiding space, a lonely place. How can the right thing be so wrong? I found mistakes where they don't belong. For the love of life will defeat this. They may tear us down, but we'll go down fighting. Won't we?
Okay. Once again, I have a strong bias when it comes to David Sylvian, so I'm predisposed to liking him and liking his music, but I'm also much more weighty when it comes to criticizing. Keep that in mind. I'm an honest fan, and not everything he's touched is gold just because I'm a fan of his. Okay. This track is gorgeous. It's beautiful. This is me weighing in with the bias, and this is just a beautiful track to listen to. Extremely well orchestrated. There's a lot of beauty in the details behind it, because at first listen and glance you could say, okay, there's sweeping strings and it's a slow, brooding, beautiful, but slow, brooding kind of menagerie of swirling strings and stuff. And he sings his rich, luscious voice just veining through it in a really beautiful way. And all of that is true. But there's also a little bit of subtlety that's happening beneath the music. And with David's solo material, there is always that aspect behind. There's always something to pick up in the background. I'm thinking, a little guitar back there. There's a little, it may be keyboards, but it has the sound of a choir back there. And I mean so softly spoken and sung, you can barely taste the breath off their lips. And like there's these little details as the music swirls and organically moves. And the music moves in a way that is big and momentous. As slow as it is, it has this girth to it. It has this heaviness and weightiness to it. It's like when you, like in a movie, like, I guess, like, let's think of a movie with a big monster like Godzilla or, like huge. Think of like Jurassic Park, the first time they see the brontosaurus or whatever. Like, it's this big mammoth-like creature that is so awe-inspiring and so big that every little move it makes because we're so small, it's so slow. How it was just tightness, right? And the music behind David is performed and hits in that particular way. And that's going to be, that's going to be Haishima Kuniaki, who's going to be handling the compositions beneath David. And of course, David, his singing. If you don't like David Sylvian's voice in his singing, then you're never going to like it. If you do like it, you'll pretty much always like it. Unless you're looking at later era. Then who knows if that might get you through. And in this track, his voice is lush, rich. It carries this beautiful and heavenly weight. He strikes it with divinity. He just sounds great. And I love how inspiring he sounds. Of course, you get that classic Sylvian warble, you get a little bit of that vibrato in there. And he is just a gold vein within this particular track. And it's a joy to listen to. I love it. I'm really curious. So this came out 2004. I'm thinking that, because this sounds like a Blemish track. It kind of reminds me of Fire in the Forest a little bit. David Sylvian. Let's look up his discography real quick, because it sounds to me like it's in that era, but I could be wrong. Let's see. 2004. This came out. So Okay, there you go. Blemish 2003. Don't tell me I don't know my music. Okay, so yeah, it fits. It could easily fit right on Blemish. Can you imagine? Well, this came out a year later, I suppose. I was going to say, hearing this song, and you're like, wow, this sounds really great. And then listening to Blemish, and it's a little different. Blemish is actually not a bad album, but it's the first time that he starts to change to a little bit different. And by Manophone, he's gone to a different direction here. While you're here, let's look at these lyrics, huh? I'm on David Sylvian's site himself. And slowly you come to realize it's all as it should be. You can only do so much. If you're game enough, you could place your trust in me. Love that line. For the love of life, there's a trade-off. We could lose it all, but we'll go down fighting. You place all your bets on me. I promise I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to do everything I can. We may lose it all, but listen, we're going to fight to the very end. And what of the children? Surely they can't be blamed for our mistakes, not passing on the sins of our fathers down. And slowly I've come to realize it's all as it should be, the natural order of things. That hiding place, a lonely place. How can the right thing be so wrong? I've found mistakes where they don't belong. This is a really good line. Like the mistakes in the wrong place. I guess they wouldn't be mistakes otherwise in a sense, huh? But for the love of life, we'll defeat this. There's that reassurance, that strength. They may tear us down, but we'll go fighting. And previously he said, we could lose it all, but we'll go down fighting. Here he says they may tear us down. Stronger opposition, stronger enemies and attacks, but we'll go down fighting. And then the question, won't we? Bringing this other person, bringing them in. That's really great. The lyrics are very straightforward, and there's a certain way that he writes in this particular track that it brings us in as the listener into a deeply, deeply personal way. Curious about this because he did. There's some more information here. It's the title of the track that David wrote for this track, for the anime of one of the most successful manga comic series ever printed. And the credits. David wrote in the booklet, I was attracted to the monster material by the moral dilemma faced by its central character. The calm surface of the music giving way to darker undercurrents, signifying the conscience of the lead protagonist and the themes of morality, fate, resignation, and free will. Very curious. So I don't know anything about... Oh, of course, it's the Fire in the Forest tour. I don't know anything about the anime, really. I know that there's a serial killer involved in it, but I don't know much more than that, to be honest. I never got that far. So let's actually look at the anime just to get an idea of the story. Like a very limited idea of the story. I don't want to read like the whole plot. Put you up here. Tenma, a brilliant neurosurgeon with a promising future, risks his career to save the life of a critically wounded young boy. The boy, now a charismatic young man, reappears 9 years later in the midst of a string of unusual murders. Okay, so I know that it's like a murder mystery, there's a serial killer involved, something like that. I'm not sure much beyond that. But while I can't relate exactly how the song relates to the anime, because I have no knowledge of it, David does, and it attracted him. I'm curious, did David find the anime himself, or did like the animators, the people that worked in the studio, approach David in creating this particular track? How can the right thing be so wrong? The boy found a name, and the boy has a gun. They don't know that, huh? Johann Liebert's. Some people are here for Monster. Isn't this on Spotify? Just curious if anyone's talking about David. Truly glad David composed this because in every way, and because of Monster, I found another good singer, songwriter. He was truly a master of the craft. I'm responding to an 8-year-old comment. You're right on, brother. It pains my heart to think there are many more hidden gems like this one that I may or may not come across in this lifetime. That's the beauty of it. When you stumble upon these things, you're not always going to find it, but sometimes you'll stumble upon it. This song represents Tenma's thoughts. See, I can't say anything about that, but it's an incredibly, incredibly moving song. Really enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments down below. Michael, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for the support as well, because I never, ever have any sort of qualms about listening to more David Sylvian. Hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Please come back tomorrow, and I will see you all tomorrow.